All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Minecraft Explained, episode 3. And we're going to be talking about just simple item filtering here. Now, in Minecraft, we have farms. And, you could dump all of the items that your farm produces into just a bunch of chests, but that doesn't really help with organization. So what we're going to do today is I'm just going to talk about simple item filtering, bit of redstone, how it kind of works. But here we have an item filtering system that I would put on an iron farm, for example. Here is just an example of one slice of how this works. And this item filter has been around in Minecraft for God knows how long now. This design originally came from Impulse SV. I'll leave a link to his video about this item filter in the description. But yeah, it's relatively simple how this works. So if I come over here, for example, this looks a little bit complicated, but it's not as complicated as it looks. So basically what I have here is this is where your items come in. These hoppers here are your filters. So this one's filtering iron out. This one's filtering poppies out. And the iron just comes down here into this storage. Whereas the poppies, for example, come through the filter down here into this composter. And then bone meal comes into this filter. Because you don't really need all the poppies that you get from an iron farm. So you may as well compost them and then turn them into bone meal so you get a bit of passive bone meal. These chests over here are just for overflow. So if this gets full of iron, all the iron will just end up in here. If this gets full of bone meal, then you'll get iron and poppies in here. Just overflow protection, that way you're not losing any items. So that's what we've kind of got going on here. And as you can see back here, we've got the redstone circuit itself, which we will talk about in a little bit. But essentially what's happening here is we're taking a comparator output from this hopper. And then what we're doing is once we get more than 41 items here, we then power this repeater, which depowers this redstone torch, which unlocks this hopper here, which then allows items to flow down. And that's basically how this kind of works. So I have an example set up over here. So if we come over here, this is just to explain very simply how the system kind of works. So if I look in this hopper, I have the item filter set up. So I have 4 singular items, which these need to be items that won't be inputted into the system. And then I have the block that I'm trying to filter. So for this to work, you can actually have like a single item in here. So if I pull all these out, and if I've got one item in here, this filter will still work, but it won't pass any items to the storage until there's 41 here. So basically what's happening here is that this filter here in this current state basically produces a power level of 3 essentially. And to get it to unlock the hopper that's underneath it in this setup over here, you need to have a power level greater than 3 essentially. Because once it gets here, it unlocks that bottom hopper. So if I put this extra iron in here, you can see now it's powered this last light, which means those items are filtering down. well, will filter down into the hopper below it. But now if I just put the 41 back in here, you see it's back to its default state. So that's kind of what's happening here. It's just relatively simple. The redstone's not overly complex or hard to understand if you understand a little bit about redstone and power levels. But another trick that you can use for this is, see, I've got 4 sticks here. But say if I want to have a filter where I want to filter sticks, for example, say a witch farm, and I want to filter all the sticks out, instead I can't use sticks as these blocker items, essentially, these placeholder items. So what you can do is you can come to an anvil, grab a bunch of sticks, and rename them filter item or something like that. And then what that does what this does is I've got another item that won't be picked up as a stick. So I can use these items. So if I take these out, I can then use this like that. Take my iron out, and then I can put my sticks in. And it works just fine. So yeah. So just basically take an item and rename it something else if you wanted to filter, say, sticks, and you're using sticks as your items. This is a common concept, particularly around, like, in multi-item storage systems. So if I just put these back, boom, back to normal. But yeah, that's kind of how that just works. So what's also great about these, as you can see from over here, is that they're tileable. You can have them right next to each other and they don't interfere with each other. So basically what you have here is a one wide tileable filter system, essentially sorting system. So yeah, here is just a singular slice here. Now you're just asking, you know, how do you build this? Well, like this, but I'll show you guys. Basically, here's everything you need to build a single slice of the sorting system. So you're going to want 2 hoppers, a chest, you know, somewhere to put those items, 3 redstone, a redstone torch, a repeater, and a comparator. You're going to need 6 blocks to build with, basically. You're going to want 5 filter items, and then whatever item you want to filter. So in this case, iron. I've already got everything I need in my inventory down here, so I'm just going to basically build this on out, come up here, and then essentially, if I just place my repeater in here, just block on top of that, boom. Now you just want your comparator, 2, 3 redstone, and your redstone torch goes here. Now I'm going to put a chest down here. It has a hopper running into it, and then I'm going to run this hopper. I'm going to shift click this hopper into the comparator. Now, you technically don't need to do this, but actually, no, yes, you do need to. You should really point this hopper into the comparator, just so hopper priority takes over. And I'm not going to talk about hopper priority because that's a discussion for another day. But now we've got all the redstone set up. Basically, all you need to do is just take your filter items, place them there, and then whatever you want to filter, and boom, you're done. Super simple, super easy. And then what you want to do is basically what I've got over here is just have a hopper line or a water stream even. But yeah, have a hopper line that goes over into your overflow, just like this. And you got overflow protection and item filtering. So what I'm going to do now is, where is it? Sometimes I have a hard time finding stuff in the creative menu. Oh, there we go. I just want a shulker box. Yeah, all right. And what I want... I'm gonna put a bunch of poppies in here. Gonna want some iron. And then I'm gonna put some wool in here. I got the shulker box. So what should happen here is the iron should end up in here. We should end up with some more bone meal in here, and all the wool should end up in here. So if I just place this shulker box on top of this hopper, like so, there goes the bone meal, doing its thing, and we've got iron flowing through here. Well, we will eventually have iron flowing through here, because we're still currently processing the poppies. I might just take a bunch of these out. Probably too much for this example. Yeah. It's going to take too long if we actually run through that whole shulker box. But now we got iron coming through here. And if we look here, you see it fluctuates between 41 and 42. It then unlocks this hopper so the iron can flow through. All right, we're done there. And then you can see here that the wool basically doesn't go into any of these hoppers, and it just comes straight through here and down here. Should be finished in a couple seconds. And then there's our stack of wool. So yeah, that's pretty much the brief example of simple item filtering in Minecraft, guys. So yeah, I hope this video was useful to you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.